This is the next episode of True Wrestling Fan Discussions. Continue our Jake the Snake Roberts career review series. This is going to be the final chapter of Jake. This is going to cover 92 to 98. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank. Let's get into it. The roller coaster ride that is Jake
Yep.
the Snake Roberts. Unfortunately, this is the downward spiral of it all, and which is unfortunate because when he got to WCW, I thought this was going to be cool. We hadn't seen him for a while after he left WWE. You know, they book him in a feud with Sting.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it just becomes a total shit show. So here we go. I would even say this was a good thing considering he hated the man, but Roberts went to work for WCW alongside his father, Grizzly Smith, who was a road agent for WCW at the time.
That's right. He was.
However, before he could officially join WCW, he had to wait 90 days. So on August 2nd, 1992, at a main event taping in Baltimore, Roberts made his first televised appearance coming through the crowd to attack Sting. Just 6 days later, on August 8th, 1992, Roberts had his first match defeating Marcus Alexander Bagwell on a house show in Chicago during the Great American Bash Tour.
Mm-hmm.
And Roberts would quickly align himself with the Barbarian and Cactus Jack. What a hell of a group there.
Yeah.
Shit.
Team.
Roberts' first major televised appearance was on September 2nd, 1992 at Clash of the Champions 20, teaming with WCW United States Champion Ravishing Rick Rude, which I never thought I'd see, Super Invader, Hercules, and Vader as they defeated Sting, Nikita Koloff, and the Steiner brothers in an elimination match. Mm-hmm. This was a good match. When we did this Clash review, we talked about it. This was a really good one.
Jake Garner was a big deal at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really big deal.
He was pretty, before Hulk Hogan gets there in 1994. Jake Roberts is a big name.
Yeah.
So this is a big name jumping ship and heading on over there. We're not taking anything away from Ravishing Rick. That's also a huge name as well. But at this point in time, yeah. Roberts scored the pinfall victory over Sting on this night, which would build their feud even further. On October 25th, 1992, oh Lord, Roberts had his single pay-per-view appearance in the main event of Halloween Havoc against Sting. Their match was determined by a spin the wheel, make the deal. And when the wheel stopped, of all places to stop on it, on what many observers believe was the worst option on the wheel, and I have to agree, was the coal miner's glove match. You couldn't respin this shit? I mean, come on. You have a great match, and then you WCW.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Now, the match ended when Sting retrieved the coal miner's glove and struck Roberts with it. Wow, is that all he had to do? Roberts was bitten by his snake that he was holding, which allowed Sting to pin him, which was kind of crappy, the way that the way they executed that. I thought was bad. Now, following the loss to Sting, he continued his feud, facing him on several house shows immediately after the event. November 2nd edition of WCW Saturday Night, Tony Schiavone conducted a sit-down interview with Roberts regarding the decision of Bill Watts to ban him bringing a snake to ringside.
That's what I was getting to. You're killing his character doing that. You're sabotaging the guy. What are you doing?
Just pulling a Jack Tunney.
No, but worse, because
exactly, yeah.
We'll get into the behind the scenes stuff with Watts later.
And his impending Watts banning him from bringing the snake to ringside, plus his impending first round match against Dustin Rhodes in the King of Cable tournament.
Yeah, the natural.
Yep, but Roberts was replaced by the Barbarian in the tournament as Roberts soon there left WCW. Right. So a cup of coffee and he's out, unfortunately. Now, according to the Pick Your Poison DVD, Roberts had initially signed a lucrative contract under Kip Allen Fry,
right,
who was running WCW at the time.
Right. In the meantime, before.
At the time, Roberts had to wait 90 days before he could join WCW.
Right, to no compete.
Yeah. with that garbage. On the 87th day, Fry stepped down and was replaced by Bill Watts. It's almost like they planned this, if you think about it. For whom Roberts had legit heat with back in the days of Mid-South Wrestling.
Right. Yeah.
Ultimately, Roberts estimated that he went from making about $3.5 million to approximately $200,000 a year.
Yeah, so I have to listen. I don't know for sure. There's no way Jake had a 3.5 million per year. It was probably 3.5 over X amount of years, whatever it was.
Probably a
Like,
3-year deal.
Well, yeah, it was not. There's no way.
There's no way it's
back
per
then,
year.
Nobody was making that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he cut him down to like 200K, and it was already like, no pun intended, his WCW run was already snake bit at that point. Snake bit because
pretty much,
already,
yeah, it was.
He's already angry about the money. Then Watts, takes the snake from him. It was a disaster.
But do you see that how funny it is that on the 87th day, right when he's about
90,
to
so
be
they hit
there,
90, yeah, and then they could.
I
think he ripped up the contract. I think he ripped the contract up or something like that. I don't remember exactly what happened.
Yes, he did.
He basically told him to kick rocks.
So at that point now, over the next couple of years, Roberts pretty much just did like the indie scene.
Yeah.
However, in 1995, Roberts took a hiatus from wrestling, and on January 21st, 1996, Roberts returned to the WWE at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, we've discussed this before. Yeah, when he came back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he wasn't in the greatest shape at that point.
No, and what's funny is they show the photo of 1992. Right. So it's like, are we getting Trust Me Jake, or are we getting
we got
the other Jake? We got Pillsbury Doughboy Jake.
Yeah, I mean, and he had a new snake, Revelations.
Yeah, who was just as big as him. Unfortunately. Anyway, he entered at number 7. Lasted 14 minutes 39 seconds, eliminating two participants, Henry Godwin and Takeo Omari.
We were happy to see him though, like for like 2 seconds, and then once the reality,
I was happy to hear his theme music, until I saw him,
and then you're like, oh no.
And then we're like, somebody couldn't put down the Twinkie box.
Jesus.
Come on! I mean, come on! We never seen Jake that big before, and he never wore a shirt to the ring.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I'm impressed by the fact that they tried to push him a little bit.
They did a little bit, yeah.
But the only place he needed to be pushed is into a gym. But anyway, he was eventually eliminated by Vader in a corny way. A little shoulder block, and he oversold that shit right over the top rope.
Then that sets up eventually he goes into that feud with the tag feud and everything.
Yeah,
Vader involved in it.
Now Robert's gimmick at this point, it was that of a Bible preacher.
That's right. Yeah.
Along with his gimmick came his new albino Burmese python. You had Revelations. His gimmick also mirrored his real life, as Roberts had recently become a born again Christian and had been preaching across the country. So on February 18th at the In Your House 6 Rage in the Cage, Jake Roberts defeated Tatanka on the free-for-all prior to the event. Yeah. And after this, Roberts was involved in a feud with Camp Cornette, Owen Hart, British Bulldog, and Vader. Well, it's pretty much all they had at that point. So
Jake, he just looked out of place, man. I remember thinking like
he did. He just of the guys that don't belong in this feud.
Right, yeah, Jake.
You're it. Yeah. March 31st at WrestleMania 12, Roberts teamed with Ahmed Johnson and Yokozuna in a losing effort against Owen Hart, British Bulldog, and Vader. Unfortunately. On April 28th at In Your House 7, Good Friends, Better Enemies, the feud continued against Camp Cornette. Roberts teamed with Ahmed Johnson once again in a losing effort against Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. Ahmed, get the hell away from him. He's bad luck for you. If you're not bad luck for yourself. Now, during his second tenure with the company, Roberts' character was pushed as a Cinderella story. Which I always thought he was anything but considering what he looks like, we'll go with this. On May 27th edition of Monday Night Raw, Roberts defeated Triple H in the first round of the King of the Ring tournament. On the May 28th edition of Superstars, Roberts then defeated Justin Bradshaw in the quarterfinals of the tournament.
Right.
This
That's
is
when
this is
that's
when I hated this, that they were breaking up the
the
tournament
tournament. Yeah,
and
and
just
it
putting the
was
semifinals on the pay-per-view.
which is
I wanted to see the whole
yeah,
thing.
we all
You,
talked
you
about
and I,
this.
we
Yeah,
love
the
tournaments.
tournaments. Yeah, it's got to be the pay per view. I'm sorry, you can't do
King
that.
of the Ring
It
is a
just takes away from
tournament.
it. Yeah, it takes away.
Exactly. Takes away. 100% agree. On June 23rd at the King of the Ring, Jake Roberts defeated Vader in the semifinals of the tournament by disqualification. Roberts then would face Steve Austin in the finals of the tournament later on that night.
Yep.
Changes had to be made to the match's script as legitimate injuries to Roberts were sustained earlier against Vader, leaving Roberts unable to wrestle the longer, more evenly matched
Well, and Austin,
bout originally intended between the two.
Austin, I got in his lip buster right that night.
Yes, by Mark Merrow
accidentally, and he had all the stitches.
Oh, so we're batting 1,000 with the two of them in this match. To prevent further injury to Roberts, he was quickly defeated by Austin,
Which was sad, man.
It really
It
was.
was sad because
because you think, okay, does Jake have the chance to win this and get a title shot? We didn't know that they took away the title shot at this point.
Right, thanks to Mabel.
Yeah, seriously. Vince was like, can't get any worse than that. Oh, yes, it could.
But, inadvertently, he gives birth to Austin 316 because he was talking about John 316 and Austin.
Yep. He mocked him that night afterwards, the biblical passage, John 316. You sit there thumping through your Bible, talking about your Psalms, talking about your John 316. Get that piece of trash out.
Oh, dude, that was awesome, man. It was tremendous. I mean, listen, you should never mock religion.
No, absolutely not.
But that promo was unbelievable, and it was by accident. It was like
he never intended it to get as big as it did.
Right. The next night, everyone had the sign.
Oh, Austin 316.
Yeah, it's wild. Sometimes it's just these things
just happens. Yeah. But what a promo that night, and unfortunately, at the demise of Jake. But I mean, it was unbelievable. Mm. Now, unfortunately, I would say that this really was the highlight for Jake's second coming because
it was. Yeah, the highlight of his second coming is Austin. Is helping Austin.
Become an icon at this point on his way to it.
Right.
Because his next feud is now with Jerry the King Lawler.
Oh, jeez. I didn't like this feud.
Where wrestlers go to die.
That was with the alcohol, right? That he had.
I hated it.
And hated it. Jake was really recovering in real life.
He was.
Alcoholism. Yeah.
We've said this before. I know I have. I don't like when they bring stuff like this into it when you know that in real life these are your demons and you want to portray it in a storyline.
They did it with Hawk.
I didn't like that either.
With Scott Hall too. They did it with Scott Hall. Yeah.
It's just it's hard enough for somebody to have to deal with these demons on an everyday basis for them to actually have to do now a storyline about it. It's just I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. But anyway, with the Jerry Lawler feud, Jerry Lawler went to great lengths to ridicule Roberts at this point. I mean, it was really ridiculous about his past alcoholism. And on August 18th at SummerSlam, of all the people to face for Roberts, Roberts loses to Jerry Lawler on top of it. Not just facing him, but you're going to lose to him. What does Lawler have to gain by getting a victory here over him?
Nothing.
Nothing. You're not getting a title shot. Neither is Jake probably, but at least you know what? It would have been a nice stepping stone maybe to something else because now at this point, you're on a downward spiral. The feud would conclude we had to go all the way to Survivor Series for this piece of trash. November 17th, Roberts teamed with Mark Merrow, Rocky Maivia, and the Stalker, Barry Windham, because Vince just couldn't call him Barry Windham, to face Crush, Goldust, Jerry Lawler, and Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And the best thing to probably come out of that match was Rocky Maivia. Now, Roberts did eliminate Lawler in the match before eventually being eliminated by Crush. And, of course, Roberts' team won when Rocky Maivia was the sole survivor. That's Blue Chipper.
Blue Chipper right there.
Blue Chipper right there. Yeah. As we head into 1997, it wouldn't get really any better for him. The WWE wanted Roberts to wind down his in-ring career. Pretty much, Vince gave it was like, okay, I'm going to give you a 1 year reprieve.
Yeah, that's
Enjoy the limelight or whatever, and then after that,
that's enough.
we're going to have to like,
Yeah, I mean, he saw the writing was on the wall, and it was over. It was,
I mean, really, at because I did believe at the time they said that Roberts were returning was at the age of 42. I mean, even back then, I mean, how much longer could you really see him doing it before the fans going into the Attitude Era just wouldn't care?
yeah. Oh,
And then he just gets lost in it all. And then it's not that they're not booing him, they're not cheering him, they're not doing anything.
they just don't care.
And that's the kiss of death right there.
Hmm.
So they wanted him to join the company backstage. Oh yeah, now you
Oh
do.
yeah, no, yeah.
Since he still loved to wrestle, he did not make he didn't make the transition well, which I don't blame him. I know another guy that didn't make the transition real well, and that was Randy Savage. But anyway, this led to a relapse, unfortunately, with the drugs and alcohol. I'm not so sure that this particular incident led to it, but it
No, I
probably
couldn't.
didn't. It didn't
It
help.
didn't help. It didn't help.
He did, in fact, however, participate at the Royal Rumble on January 19th. He entered at number 7. This really pissed me off. He only lasted a minute 10
Oh
seconds
Jesus Christ!
before being eliminated by Steve Austin.
See you go.
Whoops. Hey, you remember King of the Ring? Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye. Roberts wrestled his last match in WWE on January 25th on the edition of Shotgun Saturday Night,
Oh
defeating
man.
Salvatore Sincere.
Oof.
Wow, I bet that was a hard match for you. He was released in March of 1997, mainly for being deemed too out of shape for WrestleMania.
You think?
Yeah, because he was six-pack abs a year ago. And I really don't think Vince was going to put him on WrestleMania 13. I really don't. If you wanted him to wind down, you weren't putting him on the
Yeah,
card.
I don't think so.
But also for being frustrated by the behavior of Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart backstage as part of a creative team that had to mediate their real life backstage nonsense. So that was the other reason why.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Anyway, moving on. However, this wouldn't be the last for Jake the Snake Roberts because now it was time for him. You were in WWE. You went to WCW. Now try ECW. Jake made his ECW debut during the summer of 1997. His introduction came towards the end of a match between Jerry Lawler and Tommy Dreamer, which was the main event of the show. As the match went on, the arena lights were turned off. I just thought they didn't pay the bill, but never mind. Moments later, when the lights came back on, Roberts was already in the ring, probably out of breath, and proceeded to give Tommy Dreamer a clothesline. He then went to the cameraman and screamed, "Your God, he giveth, and he can taketh away. My God, he giveth, but he ain't got the balls to do nothing else." End quote. Okay. He then clotheslined Lawler, who fell onto Dreamer for a two count before exiting the ring. And then the only other time you see him in ECW, which really was literally over a year later, November 1st at ECW's November to Remember, Roberts teamed with Tommy Dreamer as his mystery partner, defeating Justin Credible and Jack Victory. So it's like it wasn't even officially on the ECW roster. He made a one-off appearance, and then okay, I'll see you a year and a half later.
Yeah, at least he got a paycheck, right? I mean, assuming that Paul Heyman actually paid him.
Oh, I believe he did.
But a sad end to a great, great, great career, man.
He is to me, he's on the Mount Rushmore as far as the microphone goes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah, and he's one of the best to never get a title, a major title, I should say.
He's like what I used to call Owen Hart as the uncrowned champion.
Yeah.
You could say that
Just
about Jake in WWE. Everywhere else, he was champion.
All right, personal demons. I mean, it's
A
bad
lot of
timing
messed
too,
up thing in his. Remember the Dark Side of the Ring, what they did about Grizzly Smith with his sister, his brother.
It was very tragic stuff.
It was.
But he still had a great career either way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. His first run in WWE, again, his second run I thought could have been a little better, but when you handpick Jerry Lawler as feud, you pretty much could see the writing on the wall. Like it's like, okay, I'm heading out the door.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, well, that's our review. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys soon.
Take care.